All right, we're recording.
All right, welcome to our call tonight. This is Alvin Curry. Tonight is January the 7th, 2020. Man, how time flies. I mean, we just celebrated New Year and now 7 days in. Let me really speak really quickly because I want to share what we're going to be set up, what we're going to be talking about tonight. My Econ is short for my economy. Now, everybody on this phone should be looking out for their economy. You should not be looking out for mine. I'm a corporate owner, but you should be looking out for my economy. You should be looking out for yours. You shouldn't be looking out for your state. That's the governor's job. You shouldn't be looking out for the United States. That's the president's job. Your job is to fix your economy and to become what we call personal financial success. Now, my econ is a 15-year-old debt-free company. We do just what we're doing tonight. Most everything we do by technology. We're based here in Atlanta, and the thing I'm most proud of in the 15 years we've been in business, we've helped families put over $500 million in their pocket. When we talk about personal financial success, this is what we mean. Do you have enough cash flow today, enough money to support whatever lifestyle you desire? I don't care what kind of house you want to live in. Do you have enough money to do that, drive the car you do, support your family? And then one day, if the Lord allow you to live, you're going to retire and you're going to need to replace your working income. So today, if you have a $100,000 working income today, now don't get caught up on 100,000. It could be 200,000 or it could be 40,000. You need 20 times your earnings in order to replace your working income. At retirement, you would need $2 million to replace your working income at retirement. See, if you're going to retire and have $20,000 and not work, get 5% return on it. Let's say you got an annuity. You get 5% return on it. Let's say you got an IUL. You get 5% return. They project 4 to 5% return in retirement. So now you're going to need $2 million in order to retire and have $100,000 a year coming in. See, when you quit working, you are going to need something or someone to do some work for you to continue your income stream. You must answer that question today. Not just what I'm going to do for right now while I'm working. I'm going to get a job, I'll make some money right now and buy me some cars. You must answer the question right now. Now, I know Damon is a man of faith. He and Ashley do prayer lines and all kind of great things. But the Bible declares where there is no vision, when you can't look back over here when you're young, working hard, and see yourself in retirement and answer the question, how do I retire? What am I going to retire? And the Bible declares where there is no vision, the people perish. So if you get to retirement age, whatever age that is, and you have no money, you're going to perish. Nobody's going to come to your aid. No government, no church, no president is going to come to your aid. So you have to decide that now. The Bible declares we're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Well, if we don't have financial knowledge, we can't build a retirement plan. See, back over here when we were working, we're actually supposed to take 10% of our income and put it into some type of retirement vehicle. I don't care if it's an IUL. I don't care if it's a mutual fund. But you need to put it in some type of retirement vehicle so when you retire, you will have enough income set aside that you can retire and live comfortable. Now, according to U.S. statistics at the U.S. Census Bureau, only 4 out of 100 people getting that done today. This U.S. Census report says a person worked from age 25 to 65. 4 out of 100 have enough money, enough investments set aside so now they can live off their investments and replace their working income. See, when you reach the retirement age, whatever age that is, you are going to need something to provide you with income. Let's not make any mistakes about that. What's unique about my Econ is we have what we call an exclusive income shifting membership. Now, I understand from talking with Damon and, of course, working with him closely, that he's going to start this ad next week. You're going to hear people ask you, what is this membership? Like Damon showed me an ad. It says, I got my membership. Well, people are going to ask you, what is this membership? This is what I'm trying to explain to you all today. Damon, somebody's unmuted. Just mute that, mute everybody except me. If I need to, I can unmute myself, but somebody's unmuted. Okay. So he's running an ad about the membership. This is the membership he's running an ad about, ladies and gentlemen. Income shifting membership. It consists of 5 things: correcting tax withholding. We went over that last night. That's the anchor to what all of this is about. Tonight, we're going to go over minimizing taxes. See, you don't have to pay taxes, but you do have to file. And when you file taxes, you get deductions, credits, or adjustments, and those lower the amount of taxes you owe. Well, if you're just a single person, no children, working adult, you get a little over $12,000 in tax deductions. And if you don't have anything else, you pay taxes on all your money over $12,000. Single person with a child gets about $18,600. If you don't have anything else, you're going to pay taxes on the other money besides $18,000. Married filing jointly, $24,800. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to show you tonight is how you get $25,000 to $30,000, or even more if you wanted to. You can get $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 right here. This is important for you to know. You must know this when you begin to talk to people next week. They're going to ask you about this membership. You will not have to be able to explain the way I'm doing it tonight, but you need to know what they're talking about. So when you bring them in, you can drive them to the system to show them how to get this. So you don't have to be the one to explain like you're not doing tonight. But when you enroll someone in this business next week, you need to make sure you know how to drive them to where they can get the information from. Your job as customer service and as doing this next week will be, you don't have to correct their W-4, but you need to be directing them to where they get it done. You need to direct them to where they get their taxes lowered. Now, from these two, you take the money you save here. We typically see people getting anywhere from $200 to $1,000 a month more back in their paychecks. These are people who work jobs, who have taxes coming out of their check. They then take that money and drop it on debt. That's called income shifting. They shifted it from taxes to debt. When they shifted the money from taxes to debt, now they begin to eliminate their debt. In 3 to 7 years, you can eliminate all your debt if you stay disciplined, including the mortgage. Once you eliminate debt, that'll automatically start to build good credit because you'll be paying your creditors on time. Whatever is left on your credit, if there's things that need to be removed, we'll teach you how to get them removed. We'll teach you how to build new credit. And now you will understand how to maintain good credit all your life. Now, as you begin to invest, this step over here says, now you begin to invest. You invest with knowledge. Whatever you choose to invest in, I know Damon has a program for the people to invest in. Great, great, whatever you do. But you got to understand that it is your job to invest. Now, where are they going to get this money? They're going to free this money up back here. I need you all to see this about this membership. They're going to free the money up because you're going to be asked this. How does this membership work? What you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to go to your website in My Econ. And on the My Econ website, we have, when I say log in, that's called your back office. This presentation is there, and it shows what I'm showing you right now. So you'll be able to show someone. Someone intentionally unmutes themselves. Okay, you don't get unmuted. Okay. Now, so you get the money from over here. You teach people how to get the money from over here. That's what we teach. We teach them how to use it to eliminate debt and to invest. That's the play that Damon is running on this advertisement. You're going to need this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to be effective, see, think about this. How would you feel if you call in on some ad you saw and the person you were talking to didn't even know what you were talking about? I would be doing you an injustice if I did not explain this income shifted membership to you when the whole advertisement is based around the income shifted membership. I'll be doing you a terrible injustice. You have to know what this is. So Damon is recording this. You have to study this all week, guys, so you would know what this membership is all about. And if you don't understand this, I'm telling you, you won't be able to explain it to people. This is what the advertisement is about. 5 steps. Correcting the W-4 withholding, minimizing taxes, which we're going to do tonight. We have a debt elimination system. We're going to teach them to build good credit. And then, of course, the investment piece, that is the piece we don't do here at my Econ. That's done through Damon and his company. That's where you all are going to be. Now, let's move to what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, many of you should already be signed up. If not, you should be getting signed up. You need a website. You have to sign up in my Econ. Your website will be whatever your name is. Mine's just the Millionaire Society. And I have another one that I call I Choose My Economy. These are training sites, and I use them for that purpose. Now, I won't get into anything, but over here, I'm going to log in, okay? Well, let me just say this right here. All of our products and services are right here that we sell, but we're not here to teach you to sell product. But when you're enrolling people in the business, which is what you will be doing, you click on the Join Now button because people will be enrolling in business with you. You click on the Join Now button. You teach them to fill this out online here. Just go straight down and fill it out. And then on the $49, the initial right there, they do not have to initial the $24 if they don't want to. If they do, they're going to pay an extra $24 for a hard back, a nice embossed hardcover training manual. Otherwise, all the training is on the website. They need to do their username and continue. And on the back page, they simply put in their credit card and pay, and that's it. Once they do that, they get a letter saying, an email saying, congratulations, you've enrolled, and now they can go and start utilizing their site. They need to print that page out because they're going to need to know what the temporary passwords and all that is. So make sure you tell them that. Make sure you tell them when they filled it out. If they cannot print it out on the spot, if they use their phone, take a screenshot because on the page, you need to know what your temporary password is, what your username, and it's going to assign you a social ID. I am trying to help get you all prepared for next week. Please write these things down because or go back and listen to this video during the week and write these down so you'll know. So when someone enrolls, they go to your website. You give them your website. All of our sites looks the same. Every site. The only difference is up here is my web address. You give them your web address. They go to Join Now. Click on Join Now. That opens up, and this is how they enroll for the membership. They fill out all their information. Type it in the way it's supposed to be, because if it go in wrong, it's going to yellow. If it becomes yellow, it's going to say it's wrong. They got to straighten it out. They must initial the 49. They do not have to initial the 24. They got to have a username that no one else has used. Continue. On the next page, we can't continue unless we fill it out. It won't let us go with blank spaces. This is required information. So, on the next page, they put in the money, the debit card, bam, and they enroll. Then it's going to give them a congratulations. They've enrolled. They need to take a screenshot or print that welcoming page, that congratulation page, because that page, they would need that information to log into their site. They need their username, their temporary password, and all that. The first time a person logs in, the temporary password has to be changed. So when you log in for the very first time, the temporary password has to be changed, and you put in one you're going to remember. The username remains the same. The temporary password has to be changed. Once you change that, now you keep up with it and you're good. Now, I want to tell you this right here. I want to go back to one other thing really quickly. If you ever get confused about anything, you want to go to contact. You can ask Damon and Ashley, but let me help you. You get in business. Come down to where it says corporate office. These are our corporate office hours. These are our phone number, email, and our address. You can contact us and get answers to your questions. You are enrolling in the company. I know you're working with David and Ashley. They may or may not have the time to do everything for everybody. So if you want to, just go to contact. The information is here. It says corporate office right there. So now I'm going to log in. I want to show you a couple other things that I'm going to do here and log in. Now, when I log in here, okay, you have this income shifted membership when you enroll. No matter what you pay, you have the income shifted membership. This is it. You click on here. You have a cash flow manager. We're going to go over this tonight. You have the My Credit system. You have the debt elimination and discount travel. You have these things. We went on corrected tax withholding last night. You have all of these services, no matter what you pay to enroll in this business. This is your income shifting membership. So now, over here under My Account, you have to go to My Account, and if you want to change anything about your business profile, you can. Emails and all that you can. But what's very important here is you must set up a W-9 and a direct deposit form, because all commissions, we pay commission every Friday. I'm going to talk about this again tomorrow because I'm going to get into commission in detail. We pay commission every Friday. We only direct deposit all checks. We'll direct deposit to a prepaid card. We'll direct deposit to a regular bank. But you have to have some form of prepayment that we can do. All right. I'm going to go back to BMC Home. When I use the word BMC Home, that simply means Business Management Center, or you may hear me say log in or go to your back office. We're going to go to Document Center. I'm going to go to this Document Center right here. Lots of stuff here. I can't have time to do it all tonight for you, but here at the Document Center, let me go back one place. I want to show you one other thing before I go all the way here. BMC Home. I forgot to show you this here right quick. You can do a mobile app. So you can enroll folks on your mobile app. You can do all this. This is where you get the mobile app from. Okay? Bam. Now, go back to Document Center. Let me show you a couple of things. I know we're recording this. I want all this recorded on here. Presentation. Okay. Here is the presentation I was showing you. I only showed you a couple of pages, but this is the business presentation, and this is business presentation talking points, which means it will tell you what to say about every page. When it get to the income shifted membership, it will tell you what to say about the income shifted membership. It will tell you how to explain it. So this, if you go read this, will help you also. So it's under log in, go to Document Center, go to presentation, and you'll find how to do a presentation. Tonight, we're going to go to training manual. Remember, I told you could buy a training manual if you like, but for many of you, you're going to prefer the online version. So we're going to go to the online version tonight. This is the training manual. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to, we did correct the tax withholding already. Tonight, we're going to talk about minimizing tax strategy. So I click on this tab, I open it up, and I'm going to show you how you get $30,000, $40,000 of tax deductions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is really easy, but you're going to have to do a little work on your own. Income shifting strategy, minimizing tax, step 3. I won't read all this stuff for the purpose of time, but I will go down here to training, tax training, and record keeping guide. Okay, you have to have a profit intent. You don't have to make a profit, but you have to have a profit intent. We're going to show you tonight how to do car and truck expense. We're going to show you how to do interest on your car payment. We're going to show you how to do things like your cell phone, travel, and wages. We probably won't do a lot with meals, entertainment, and depreciation just for time purposes. Now, here's what we do. Car and truck expense. We break this down real simple. Tell you what the minimum amount you should at least read. You can read more if you like, but we tell you the minimum amount. Here's also what's greatly important for you. This says car and truck expense, but here's what it shows you. The IRS, Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, publication 463. Do not mistake that my Econ is like anybody else. We're using IRS documents. And you see we have in the broken box, this is car and truck expense we're going to talk about here. On publication 463, it talks about multiple things, but tonight we're just going to use it right now for talking about car and truck. Now, everyone should see this. Leaving your home in the morning, driving to your regular main job. So let's say someone lives in the area out where Damon them lives and they drive into LA. I understand that's probably a 50-mile trip one way. And they drive back home in the evening, another 50 miles. It says on this document here, document 463, that trip is never deductible. Never. Driving back to that area, pointing to your regular main job and pointing back to your house. However, if you leave your home and stop at a temporary work location, then go to your regular job, leave your regular job and go back to that temporary location, it says always deductible. Or if you leave your regular main job and go to a second job, it says always deductible. But the last piece, home, is never deductible. Now, in my Econ, you can create a temporary work location anywhere you want to. So let's say if I'm in the area, again, where Damon them lives, I will stop at a Starbucks. I will stop at a convenience store. I will stop at a McDonald's. And while I'm there, I would attempt to do something called prospecting. Pass out a business card, pass out a brochure while I'm there and talk to people about my business. Now, while I'm there, that created a temporary work location. Then the rest of the trip to my job is always deductible. Now, just think about that. That's a 50-mile trip one way, 50-mile trip the next way. That's 100 miles. So now if a person is driving 100 miles a day, that person is driving 500 miles a week, going back and forth to work, putting gas in their car, yet they're getting no deductions without having a business. So now if I drive 500 miles a week times 50 weeks, take 2 off for break, I drove 50 weeks, 500 miles a week for 50 weeks, That is 25,000 miles in a year. I'm going to get 57.5 cents a mile times, so I got 25,000 times 0.575 equal. This is time 57.5%. That is $14,000, $14,375 in tax deductions. Now, I know everybody won't drive 100 miles a day. But what if you drove down, remember that's 25,000 miles in a year. What if you drove 10,000 miles in a year at 57.5 cents a mile? Okay, so let's do it. You got your calculator. 10,000 times 0.575 equal. That is $5,750. That's mileage. I want you to write that down. I want you to keep this in a column. We're going to add all this up. Show you how to get to $25,000 in tax deductions. Because remember last night, I said if you put $25,000 there, that saves a person $3,000 on their taxes. Folks, this is huge, huge, huge. You need to remember this. You need to understand how we get the mileage. This is IRS document, not my Econ, IRS document. My Econ has just chosen to use it. Now, we're going to come on down. That's mileage. I'm just strolling through because I want to show you some other stuff. You can read all this in the broken line. This is what I told you to read. Transportation. Let me just read part of it for you just so you can see it. So we don't get no. In this chapter, we discuss expenses you can deduct for business transportation when you aren't traveling away from your home, as defined in Chapter 1. These expenses include the cost of transportation by air, rail, bus, taxi, etc., and the cost of driving and maintaining your car. Transportation expense include the ordinary and necessary cost of all of the following: getting from one workplace to another in the course of your business or profession. When you are traveling within the city, general area that is your tax home. That's where you work at, it's called your tax home. Visiting clients or customers. Going to business meetings away from your regular workplace. Getting from your home to a temporary workplace when you have one or more regular workplaces. These temporary workplaces can be either within your tax area of home or outside the area. Now, you can read all of this. It's on your website. I show you how to get here. It's on your website. Let me come down, and I want to show you some other stuff here. Standard knowledge. You can choose to take standard knowledge, which I chose to do. In this example, I took 57.5 cents. Now, here's what you can also do. You can also take actual expenses on a car. So, actual expenses. If you do not use the standard knowledge rate, you may be able to deduct the actual car expenses. If you qualify to use both methods, you may want to figure your deduction both ways to see which gives you the larger deduction. Actual car expenses. Let's come back up here and let's look at what they are. Depreciation, licensing, gas, oil, tolls, lease payment, insurance, garage rent, parking fee, restoration, repairs, and tires. Okay, so here's the thing. If you use your car, and it tells you right here, for both business and personal use, you must divide your expenses between business and personal. How do you do that? You got to keep the miles even if you do actual. So you can determine how much was personal and how much was business. All of your trip, nobody's going to believe everywhere you go is business, not even Alvin Curry. So we have 5,700 at a minimum, that's 10,000 miles. Now, if a person driving from the Marietta area into LA, like Damon and them do from time to time, they can get much more because they're driving more miles. Let's talk about interest. This is still publication 463. Okay. Interest. If you are an employee, you cannot deduct any interest paid on your car loan. This applies even if you use your car 100% of the time for business. Let me give you some people who might be using a car 100% of the time for business. Okay, if they make you an employee and you are a home health care person, you drive your car out to see clients, but you're an employee of the company, which means they take taxes out on you. You're not a 1099 person. You can't write those miles off. They're contemplating making Uber drivers. Right now, they're 1099. They're contemplating making Uber and Lyft drivers employees. If that's the case, they won't be able to write their miles off. However, if you're self-employed and use your car in your business, you can be an insurance salesman. You can be a Econ associate. You can deduct the part of the interest that represents your business use of your car. For example, if you use your car 60% for business, you can deduct 60% of the interest on Schedule C. You cannot deduct the part of interest that represents your personal use. I generally tell people in my Econ, they should at least be using a car if they have a job. Going back and forth to work, they should be using a car 80+% of the time for business. Let's say that you have a car payment, just to make math easy, $500. I'm going to say of that $500, at least $250, I'm going to go with $300 as interest. In the early days, it goes down as you pay on it. But in the early days, I'm going to go with $300. So if I got $300 of that's interest, 300 times 12, I got 12 times 300. I want you to do this with your calculator. I know the number, but I want you to do it so you can see it. It's $3,600 in interest a year. If I use my car 80% of the time for business, how do I know that? I track my miles. Times 0.8 equal, then that means $2,880 is interest. So up here under the 5750, I'm going to put 2,880 as interest. That's interest on my car. Now, right there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm already at 5750. I'm at $8,600 already. I told you I'm gonna get you 25,000 deductions on this or more. Now let's move on down. We did actual here. Now this is just about record keeping. We're gonna go to that in just a minute. Okay, that's all about record keeping. Now we talked about interest already, so the reason I did it, let me show you. This is small business interest here. I went on through this. This another one here is publication 334, but you also got 463 that got interest in it too. This one here talks about interest if you borrow for stuff like computers, and if you borrow for desks and furniture stuff, you can write that off. That's what this is. You can you can deduct a business expense, sum of all interest you pay or accrue during the tax year on debts related to your business. Interest related to your business, if the proceeds of the loan is for a business expense, it does not matter what type of property secured the loan. So if you use it in your business, you can do it. It says if you are liable for the debt, both you and the lender, until that you pay the debt back. It ain't when you borrow from your cousin and don't pay it back. You and the lender have a true debtor relationship. Now you can write that out. That's interest. We did it on the car. We're not going to do it again here. Let's move down. This is communication. This is your cell phone. This is publication 535, IRS publication 535, communication. Let me show you this one. Utilities, I'm gonna come down the phone. You can't deduct the cost a basic local telephone service. Now, I don't imagine anybody on this phone have that anymore. That just show you how often they change this. Basic local telephone service, something I had in the 80s. Everybody just got phone service now. They call it the way they want to. Okay, for the first telephone line in your home, even if you have an office in your home, however, charges for business long distance phone calls on that line, as well as the cost of a second line into your home, used exclusively for business, are tax deductible. Let me show you how I do that. In my home today, I have voice over internet. I would imagine most of you do. Voice over internet, VoIP is what they call it. I bought a Magic Jack. I pay $20 a year for my Magic Jack. That's considered my home phone. I use it and I give out that number all the time as my home phone. Now, so because I have a home phone that I use, I do not write that off at all. I don't write that $20 off. What I do is now I use my cell phone exclusively for business. Damon has never talked to me on anything other than my cell phone. Every time I ever call any of you, it will be on my cell phone. So I use my cell phone all the time. I'm going to show you a little later, when you employ family members, you can give them fringe benefits. So I employ my wife and I give her a fringe benefit called a cell phone. So we spend $200 a month, to be exact, $204 a month on cell phone, and we have hotspots on our cell phone because everywhere we travel to do business. So on our cell phone, $200 a month times 12 months, that's $24 more that we have. So we're going to do $24 more. We're at $11,000 already. You have to have a separate line. Then you can write off your cell phone because you're going to do more business with your cell phone than you are in your home anyway. We have a data for internet in our home. That's the utilities. We write off that in proportion because we work out of our home. My wife and I both have offices in our home, and we write off about 90% of our internet for our home. I'm just going to leave that. I got $2,400 for sale. Some folks sale might not be that high, so I'm going to leave it at $2,400. Now, let's come on down. This is all in what we call the Econ back office. Meals, they don't do entertainment any longer, but they do meals. Meals is written off at 50% when you talk to people about business. I'm going to skip this one. This is publication 463. All you got to do is keep the receipt when you go out and talk about business to anybody, even if it's your spouse. You can write that off, okay? But in the interest of time, I got to keep moving. And I tell you, it's 50% limit. I keep the whole receipt. I let my tax preparer figure out the 50%. Travel expense. This is big, okay? This is publication 334. IRS, Department of Treasury, publication 334. Let's look at this, okay? Travel expenses. It tell you about travel meals. I always write off all my meals when I'm traveling. That's why this give you that, all this that about travel meals here. But I'll give you some other stuff. You can write off transportation, commuter taxes, buses, limousine, baggage and shipping, car and truck if you rent them while you're out there, meals and lodging, cleaning. Nobody uses the telephone in the hotel no more. But boy, let me show you something. The tips you give, keep records of that because those tips is able to be written off. So if you look at all of this, and you say, wait a minute now, Alvin, I can take off all of this. I take off my airline tickets and all of that. If I rent a car, bus, whatever. Well, a typical person, if they took one vacation a year, somewhere with a family, That's generally going to be $3,000 to $4,000. What you must do while you're on that vacation is you must talk to someone about business. Here's what I do. I was going to Las Vegas last year for my wedding anniversary. I contacted some of my business partners in Las Vegas, and I set up business meetings in Las Vegas. So since I was flying to Las Vegas for my business meeting, I just took a day or two and enjoyed my 40th wedding anniversary. If I'm coming to LA to see Damon, that's obvious. But if I'm going to Vegas or somewhere like that, let me give you another one you can do. If you want to fly out of LA to Florida, you could call someone to do timeshares. Set up an appointment to see them and talk about timeshares and talk about that as a business appointment. See if you say, I want to talk to you about some business. Get them to confirm via email you have an appointment with them in Florida. Now you fly into Florida. Talk to somebody about timeshare. You ask them, do they want to do my Econ? They say no. That was a business appointment. You can write off a portion of the trip. You ain't gonna be able to write off every day, but let's say you had a $4,000 trip. Let's say we write off 50%. Now we're talking travel at $2,000. Now I want you to write these down so you can keep up with them. Now I'm going to come down to wage expense, and this is the last one, and then we're going to show you how the cash flow manager works. With publication 535 first, I'm going to show you two of them. Okay, let's start over here at introduction. You can generally deduct the amount you pay your employee for service they perform. The pay may be in cash, property, service. It may include wages, salary, bonus, commission, and other non-cash compensation, such as vacation, allowances, and fringe benefits. Now, up here, test for deductibility. To be deductible, the employee must be ordinary necessary business expense. You must pay or incur. There are other requirements. Then they come down here and tell you about the two here. Now, they go ahead on and tell you what reasonable is. Now, I'm not going to spend all this time because I have to get through here in a few minutes. Wage expense here, publication 15, Department of Treasury, IRS. This is a biggie. Family employee, child employed by parent, payment for the service of a child under the age of 18 who worked for his or her parent in a trade or business aren't subject to Social Security and Medicare taxes. If the trade or business is a sole proprietorship or a partnership in which each partner is a parent of the child, if these payments are for work other than in a trade or business, such as domestic work, doing house care, house duty, in the parent's private home, they are not subject to Social Security and Medicare taxes until the child reaches age 21. Payment for the service of a child under age 21 who works for his or her parent in a trade or business is not subject to food taxes. That's what's called payroll taxes. Payment for the service of a child under age 18 who works for his or her parent are generally subject to income taxes, withholding, unless the payments are for domestic work in the parent's private home, unless the payment for this trade or business. Now, if you keep it under $12,000, they won't have to pay no taxes. You won't have to take out federal tax. If it's over 12, you do. So I'm going to say they have two children and they pay each child $5,000 because it has to be reasonable for what the child do. So we're going to put $10,000 down here for child. Now, $5,000, that will pay for all of these children after school care stuff, that'll help buy them clothes and all that. All you're doing is rerouting the money that you pay to your children. Through them, you get what's called a custodian bank account. That means you, as a parent, one of the parents' name must be on there with the children. if they're under 18. You write a check each month to the child in their name. Now from that custodian account, you pay for their football, their cheerleader. You pay for them tennis shoes. You pay for the game. You let them start understand how to handle money. So that your account ain't got no more money than this. What you gonna do? This is how you start training your child how to handle money. Make them do some real work. My children always had to work for me. I always made them work. Then you come down here, I'm not gonna get into this one. One spouse employed by the other. I employ my spouse, and it goes on to tell you that. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to add up so we can add and just see where we are. We have $57.50 on the mileage for the car. We have interest payment $28.80. We have cell phone $2,400. We have travel $2,000, and we have $10,000 for 2 children. That is $23,000 in tax deduction. Now, last night, if you followed along with me, I used $25,000. Well, I only used $5,000. You can use $12,000 per child, depending on the age. When my daughter was in college, I used a lot more than I did when they was young. But if you got young children, $5,000 or $6,000 probably reason they're not able to do $1,000 a month worth of work. But if you got teenagers, they can do $1,000 a month worth of work. If they go to McDonald's, they go do $1,000 a month worth of work if they work. So you can hire them. Now, really, really quickly, I must show you this. Okay. Give me a second. I got to plug my computer up here. Starting to run low on me. Okay. The IRS says you must keep good records. You must have a business and you must keep good records in order to get these deductions. So I am going to go up here and I just opened up my website. What I did, ladies and gentlemen, is so everybody can see, all I did is I went to my Econ website. I logged in. I went to the document center. I go to training manual, stroll down in the drop-down menu, and I went to document 805. That's number 4 here, step 4. Training manual, minimizing taxes. I opened that up and I went through it. You can go through there and read through this. You got to get some knowledge if you're going to be effective next week. Now, here's where we're going to go now. I'm going to go back to my Econ BMC home. I'm going to go to my income shifting membership. You have to go set this up. You have a cash flow manager. This way you track all of your stuff. You can track it online. You can do it with your cell phone because you're going to have an app if you do it. I'm going to create a new to show you exactly how to do it. You can do one for home and one for business. My wife takes care of home. I take care of business. So this is training. I'm going to save the file. Now that I've saved the file, this is the dashboard. I'm going to go back to the list so you can see it. See, there's training. I already have one. I'm going to show you the results in just a minute. Now I come over here to training one. I want to open that one up. You can have one for your insurance business. You can have one for your MyEcon business. You can have one for your home. If you got an Uber driving while you're doing it, you can have one for that. You can have one for as many businesses as you want. We want to enter new expense. Now, I'm not going to have time to do custom and all of that. You can work on that. I'm not trying to get you, I just want to show you what we got. Tonight, we want to do fees. So I come in here, I'm just say that I'm going to drop this back and say that you enrolled on the 3rd. I'm doing it for a purpose. Let's say that you did an enrollment on the 3rd, and that was $13. at 95 cents. Now I'm going to come down here and say who enrolled. I'll use my wife's name. What? Enrollment. Enrollment in my Econ. Okay, where? Online, you did it online. You made online payment. Now, that's all you need for that. Now, that's a one-time payment. Is saved. Let me show you another one. Let's do another one. See, right here it says expenses. We can do income or expenses. In a new expense, I'm going to do something a little different this time. Let's come down to monthly fees. Okay, monthly renewal fees. Okay, the monthly renewal fees, I want to do something different because I need to show you something that's going to happen. I'm going to take this back to December the 6th. And I'm going to say, in December the 6th, you paid $34.95. Now, you wouldn't have paid that before you joined. I'm just showing you how this works. Alvin, this because I use this so much it has something pop up. Monthly fee. Okay. This is not my best skill trying to do this and talk at the same time. Now, I want to show you this why I'm showing you this for a reason. I'm going to come down here and do reoccurring. How often? Once a month. How often do it reoccur? When do I want it to reoccur again? I want to reoccur again on January the 6th. And it'll do it every month after that. On the 6th. Save it. Now, see how that shows up here at the top? All I have to do is confirm, did I pay that? And if I paid it, I ain't got to retype it. I just save it in. So things like cell phone bills and reoccurring payments, you can do it. I want to show you how that works. Let me show you how to do some mileage. Okay, so I want to do transportation mileage. Okay, I come down. I find transportation mileage. I pick a date. Let's say this is today's date. I'm not doing the actual. If I was doing actual, I put actual in. I'm gonna say Alvin work / prospecting. Where I live in Atlanta, I'm going to say McDonald's. I'll do MCD. We're in Snellville here. Snellville to Atlanta. Now, so I drove from Snellville to Atlanta. I'm going to pick a car. I'm just going to say car number 1. Whatever your mileage was when you're doing that, in the mileage, it has a GPS on the system. You can track it. I'm just going to do 1,000 miles when I started. It was 1,052 when I get to work. First 2 miles I take off, I drove 50 miles to work. Now you can't do reoccurring on this because you may have some change. So I save that. Now look at what happened. It says transportation mileage, car number 1, and it shows you how many are business miles. Let me do one more in a new expense. Let's do communications. Okay. Let's say that we actually did now pay $200, not $2,000, please, $200. Alvin and Carlos Curry, and we paid that to ATT. This is cell phone. And where we did that, AT&T online. Now, you could set that up as a recurring expense if you wanted to. If your bill is going to be the same every month like ours. If it's not, you know, okay, you may not. If you're doing it like the prepaid phone. So here's what I want you to understand. You can do this all the way down, folks, with whatever. Over here, you can take pictures of receipts or checks and put them in. You could have income and checks, and this creates an income statement. Now, this is then become, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I'm going to go back to my list because I just want to show you this really quickly. Then we'll take questions. I'm going to go to Big Willie. This is one that I have finished. Okay, it says view expenses. I am going to view expenses. These are expenses I have for December. If I want to view income, I just click income. Now I have income and expenses for December. This is the income category, this is expenses. You can see over here the income, the expenses, you can see the mileage. Now, let me show you this really quickly and we'll take questions. I'm going to take this back 1 year. Right above week took me back to January of 2019. If I go right above Sunday, it takes me back 1 month at a time. I'm going to take this back 1 year because I want to show you this. And I'm going to take this back 1 month. I don't want to go all the way back a year. I want to take it back to December 31st. I want to show you what a year looks like in your business. We have income and expense. Right now, it's uncategorized. We scroll down and you can see it is in numerical order by date. It is in numerical order. We're in February and we go all the way down. Now we can stroll. This is going to be kept. We're in April. We just keep strolling. We're in numerical order. We go all the way down. We're in August. Stroll down September. We stroll all the way down. I need you to see this. We have 138,000 we put in here and 32,000 expenses. We have 3 cars. Tells you about how much the mileage was on each. Now let's look at what your tax preparer want to see. These are things that your tax preparer want to see. So they click organize, categorize, I'm sorry. Watch what happened. Now it categorized. It put all the income for Alvin's barbecue up here first. And then it subtotaled it. Then it did commissions. And it subtotaled commissions. Then it did her job, his job, subtotal. We now got rent from houses. Now we got over in expenses, cable TV. They went over here now to cell phone. Then we went on over here to commissions paid out. Then we got communications, daycare. All of these are monthly recurring fees. So now, what I did not do, you can see up here where you went to meetings at, and I also carried the business miles up here where you went to meetings. Now, you're going to see down here where you just had your regular transportation mileage. That's showing when you were on a trip going somewhere. If you were going to leave Northern California and drive down to LA, 500 or 600 miles, that would be what a trip like this looked like. You have some round trip trips trips, they may be 1,500 miles. Now, this is your tax preparer will want to see it categorized and added up. Now, they're going to also want to know about your miles. The IRS says you got to have a mileage log. If you put it in every day, here is your mileage log. You got 3 cars. Business was $22.99, personal $35, total miles 23, 40, 34. Second car, third car. This is what your tax preparer want to see. This is how you get the deduction and not have any problems with the IRS. This is called a mileage log. Then the last thing I want to show you is I want to click on this profit and loss statement. It's going to pull up for 2019. You can see I've been doing this since 2008. I trained on this site, so I got lots of stuff here. This is a full big site, and as soon as it pull up, I'll show you this, then we'll take questions. We're about finished here for tonight on the actual. Now remember, this was supposed to show me 2019. Don't know why I had it up there, but it didn't show me 2019. It showed me 2020, which ain't but 1 month. All right. It's a big file, but it is put. All right. So I have a budget here. A budget is what you want to get to, not what you're doing. Then you see actual, how you did January against your budget, how you did February, March, April, May. And over here, it'll always have a year to date. So just like in January, I should have showed it to you, it had a year to date already for 1 month. Every time it adds a month, it adds a month, put them on here year to date. If you wanted to get a business loan, this will be the first place you start. Shows how much revenue you brought in, and then how much expenses you had. Then the net down here at the bottom is what you should have took home. See, I start with my business income and business expense. And what's left down here in the net cash flow, that's what goes into my house to pay my personal bill. This is only an example, ladies and gentlemen. This is not my real stuff. But I train on this every single day when I'm training someone. So I want you to ask me any questions you have. But before we go there, I need you to understand, I know you don't understand everything I just said. I don't think you need to try to explain everything I just said. But what I'm trying to show you is all of this is about the business. So once you start talking to people, they're going to have questions. Damon and I will set this up and have a place for you to direct the people to if they can't answer the questions with the people who are there. I will make myself and other team members available to help answer questions for people who need this information. I know y'all are brand new, and I know y'all won't be able to do all this. I'm not asking you to, but I am asking you to understand that this is information you need to do to fix your life. You're not going to fix your life just chasing money. Think about it. You've been chasing money all the years you've been on the earth. And if that was the answer, give me more money. Every time you get more money, you get more expenses. That ain't how you fix your life. You have to stop spending money. You have to understand money strategies. Everybody I know fix their life, apply money strategies. All wealthy people hate paying taxes. So what I just showed you is how to come up with between $23,000 and $35,000 in tax-deductible business expense, which will save a person $3,000 to $4,000 a year on their tax bill. I don't know why anybody wouldn't pay $500 a year for that information. That'll save anybody. Now they take that $3,000 to $4,000 and pay it on their debt or invest in their retirement and then they secure their future and not someone else. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for being on the call with me tonight. My name is Alvin Curry. I'm going to go ahead and ask Damon to turn the recorder off so we don't get all the questions on the recording. But when you go back and watch this, you simply watch the actual train.